Hello, I'm Colleen Flood.
And I'm Miguel Vasquez.
Today we will be teaching you how to use Clicker 5 in the classroom,
What makes it a good tool?
and what the relative advantage of using Clicker 5 is.
Before we can do all of that, you have to know what Clicker 5 is.
Clicker 5 is a writing support program for primary levels. It is basically a talking word processor that has picture and speech support, talking books, video and animation, and learning grids to help students become better writers. Here in Clicker 5 is an example of a talking book that is featured as one of their programs. It's a book about feelings, and as you go through it, you can see that it is full of great animations and graphics. If you hit the sound button, it reads along with you, and each page has a graphic that goes along with the story. This boy here is crying, the next girl feels angry, and the graphic shows an animation of that. So it's just a really good example of one of the programs that Clicker 5 offers to help support new readers in the primary language.
Clicker 5 can be used in the classroom in many ways. It is a means of expression and active engagement for students. It is a means of expression because students can play games to practice a skill.
Here in Match the Clock, students can practice telling time and knowing the difference between a mechanical and digital clock. It is a good way for students to use expression to display what they've learned. So the program is a simple program, probably for first or second grade primary levels, where they look at a mechanical clock and then have to go and see what the digital time is. So if it's 9 o'clock on the mechanical clock, they have to find 9 o'clock digitally and click on it, and it'll tell you if you're correct or wrong. It's a really simple program, but it's a really good way for students to express what they've learned as a kind of informal assessment.
Clicker 5 is a means of promoting active engagement because the programs are hands-on and can keep students engaged and motivated to learn as opposed to reading a textbook.
Clicker 5 is a great tool because it has a high degree of interactivity. Students are not just reading information, but actively engaging in the program.
The graphics in Clicker 5 fulfill an important purpose, such as motivation or information, and are not a distraction to learners. For example, when reading the talking book, the graphics are helpful in the student's understanding of the sentence.
Finally, the readability and learning difficulty of Clicker 5 can be at whatever appropriate level you choose for your target students. For example, lower level primary students can use Clicker 5 in the spelling animation to spell simple words like cat and hop, and higher level primary students could use Clicker 5 for more advanced programs like the ones on questions about Greek gods. Here's an example of a simple spelling program featured on Clicker 5. It would definitely be designed for a lower level primary, probably around first grade. It's easy to follow. You just hit the button here, cat, and it'll spell out the word. It won't spell it out, but it'll say cat so students can hear what it sounds like, and then they can either type it in themselves, C-A-T, and hit space, and if they get it right, it just shows a little animation to go along with the word, or they could press the buttons down here and get the same effect. There's tons of different lower level words on here, same thing with dog. You could press it, hear how it's pronounced, and then spell it on your own. And one more, hop, press it, hear what it has to say, and then spell it out. And it's good because it's good readability, and it has perfect learning difficulty for the grade level you're trying to approach, and it gives immediate feedback, which is shown to have a good effect on students. So it's just a really great program that you can use when you have Clicker 5 in your classroom. Here's an example of a higher level program offered on Clicker 5. It's about Greek gods, so it would be following a lesson probably on the Greek gods, and it has a higher readability and learning difficulty, probably for about a 4th grade level. You could start with either the gods or people, so if you click on the gods, these are all the questions. Who were the gods? And you can either type in the answers yourself, or if you go to starters, you could say the gods were, then go back, and you could use any of these words to type what you're trying to say, or you could go back to the names and then start to name them, adding in things where necessary, like commas and periods, and complete your sentences that way. So it's just a program for higher level learners, and it just shows what a wide range of difficulty levels you can have here on Clicker 5.
What problem is what problems is the technology solving? Three problems are Clicker 5 solves is gaining their attention, engaging students in production work, and supplying self-paced learning for capable students.
Why is technology a good solution for these problems, you may ask? Well, Clicker 5 presents a solution to all three of these problems listed above. The way Clicker 5 is formatted, it grabs the attention of students, which Gagne says is the first of 9 essential events of instruction, and most teachers say technology's visual and interactive qualities can direct students' attention toward learning tasks. Clicker 5 engages students in production work, and this form of technology is said to have students who learn by creating word-processed hypermedia and other technology products, reporting higher engagement in learning and a greater sense of pride in their achievement. Finally, Clicker 5 supplies self-paced learning for capable students, and this form of technology gives self-directed students the opportunity to learn on their own at a pace that they are most comfortable at.
We hope this video has answered all your questions about Clicker 5 because it is a great program for future elementary school teachers, and the more we can be educated on it, the more we can use it to better educate our students.